Welcome. It is day 39 of 50 days of fitness. We're getting to the end here. We have 11 days more. And today, I weighed in 200 pounds again. That means for more than a week now, I've been at 200 pounds. Um, am I at an equilibrium? I don't know. We'll see. After if it if it were to last 2 weeks without any change, I would say that means that you've hit a plateau and you probably have to you know jumpstart it in one way or another to kind of get things going again if you're still trying to lose weight, or maybe you're at your equilibrium and you're fine, whichever it is. So that's the weight situation. I did make all four of my sets yesterday, but man, this has been a tough week. I, I don't know what it is, but I have just been on the run, and so that's part of this. Is I understand what it's like, where it's like I just don't have time to go to the gym, and honestly, right now I don't think I do have time to go to the gym. I think that if I relied on doing this at the gym, I just wouldn't be able to do it, because going to the gym, it's probably at least an hour in the gym. I mean, it's kind of hard to do less than that. Plus, driving over there, driving back, changing, all the stuff you have to do. It's an hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2 hour, probably minimum to do that. And, I guess it's, what I guess now that I say that, it's like, well, what do you mean you don't have an hour a day? But that's the way it seems. So anyway, I did get my four in yesterday. I earned my coffee this morning. I've got my first one in today. I have three more to do, of course. So anyway, so where I am right now, um, if you looked at me, so like, if you looked at me kind of like you're looking at me right now, my like a lot of my clothes are looser. And if you look at me, I think a lot of people would say, "Oh, yeah, you're thin now. You're thin." But I'm gonna say that if you saw me like, without a shirt, or in a bathing suit, or naked or whatever, you wouldn't say that I look skinny. You would say I'm in, I think, the official category skinny fat. because because in some ways I am getting thin, and a lot of things look very thin. But I have a roll of belly fat, kind of still around my middle, and the love handles, and the back fat. And everybody knows back fat is the most pernicious form of fat. It just seems like it's nearly impossible to get back fat to go away. There's still work to be done there. And I get, you don't have to have a perfect physique. You don't. But I guess I guess I do feel like I would like to really kind of knock out this excess body fat. And when you start getting down there, it that can be kind of hard to do. So we'll see how it goes. Um, so today I thought, okay, so we talked about, the sugar fast. Not a lot to report there. I've been doing it. I have lately been having kind of weird cravings for things that I haven't craved in a long time, and but I haven't really. I mean, I've been really pretty darn good. I mean, I can't really think of any real cheats that I've done there. And so I am really hoping. So when this wraps up, this will wrap up a week from Tuesday, and that'll be 50 days. And that will be in a little past mid-April. In May, I have my annual physical, and actually I have 2 a year, but the main one is in May. And one of the whole things about this sugar fast is I'm really, really trying to get my A1C down. That, I am trying to lose the belly fat. There is no doubt about it. I really, really, really want to do that. But the main thing I want to do is I want to get my A1C back in normal levels, because as I gained all this weight, post cancer, my A1C went up and I was pre-diabetic. I've been pre-diabetic for a couple of years now. And my last checkup in November, the A1C was down, but I was still pre-diabetic. So I'm trying to get back into normal range. And so I guess my point is that even when this wraps up, it'll be hard really to maintain the discipline not to start eating some of that stuff again. But I'm probably going to try to stay on that at least until my physical, to see where my A1C is, and then we'll kind of see. So today I thought I'd talk about skin. Because speaking of belly fat and a lot of skin. So our skin is the largest organ of our body. And I know I don't really like to think of it as an organ. I don't know. That just seems really weird. But it is. It's the largest organ. And I don't know why, but as I've gotten older, my skin has become a bigger and a bigger issue. And I don't know why that happens more when you're older. I've always had some problems like with my hands. And so like when it gets really below 50 degrees, it only has to get below 50 degrees, my hands will get so chapped and they will get raw and bleed. And I've never really known why. I suspect part of it is that I wash my hands a lot. I've always washed my hands a whole lot. And it might be that that's why, is that I'm always washing my hands. And with the winter and I mean, I guess there are a lot of things that could come into play there. I guess washing your hands can also wash away oils that might protect your hands, but it doesn't matter. I mean, my hands would get just raw and bleeding. And also with the food allergies and post-cancer, I break out in rashes sometimes. Now that's been a lot better. I've been much, much better about my diet and trying to avoid things that I am allergic to. But I would break out in these things, and I didn't know why. I didn't know it hadn't happened to me before. So I've made a lot of progress there. So I guess the things that I'd like to talk about are that, number one, a lot of that was food related, and I didn't know it. And I guess I didn't really think about the fact. I mean, I thought if you had a food related issue, it would cause stomach issues, all of the discomfort, pain, possibly, diarrhea, vomit, whatever that might be. I figured if it was food, it would cause those kinds of things. But that's not always what it does. It can cause you to break out. You can have allergic reactions. And it's really weird because there's also, it seems to be that how I react depends upon what I'm reacting to. Meaning that if I'm allergic to one thing and I eat that, I might break out in a rash. But if I'm allergic to a different food and I eat that, I may not have a rash, but I might have like intestinal problems, or it's weird. I don't get that, but that's what I experience. So if you're having problems with your skin, it might be partially due to your diet. And it also might be due to a vitamin deficiency. That was another thing I learned, is that sometimes you know, especially I mentioned before and some of the other things talking about sunlight and all is Americans in particular have a general deficiency in vitamin D. And if you have a severe deficiency in vitamin D, you can get rickets and all kinds of really kind of crazy stuff. But we have a deficiency in vitamin D, and lots of times that vitamin D can really help some of our skin problems. Also, vitamin E, the same thing. Some of those vitamin E's can really help with your skin. So it could be something you're eating. It could be a vitamin deficiency. And then there's some other things. So I've learned this is one of the best years I've had for my hands. And I've done this a little while, but I've been very consistent this year, and I did it last year too. Vaseline, you know, Vaseline or petroleum jelly. That I made it a habit that, especially during the worst part of the winter, so every morning when I'd get out of the shower, I'd use Vaseline, and I'd especially get my hands and my arms, but I'd also do my legs. Any place where I was breaking out, I would put it, you know, on after I got out of the shower, and then before I'd go to bed, I'd also make sure that I did my hands, and I might do some of the other spots that sometimes break out and that I do in the morning as well. And that made a tremendous, tremendous difference. And I've tried all kinds of lotions, all kinds of, you know, intensive care lotion, this and all of these different things. And I wouldn't say that they didn't help. They did, but nothing worked as well as just plain old Vaseline. And so I got curious about it, and I actually looked it up and found a couple of YouTube videos about it, and there were some dermatologists talking about it. And you know, it just so happened they were saying the same thing that I was experiencing. It's like it is one of the best possible things. It's, you know, compared to a lot of the other things that you might be able to get that are also effective, it's also one of the cheapest things, and it just really is almost inert. It almost has no possible side effects for you. So it's one of those things that you can do. And, you know, it doesn't seem like a lot, but I can tell you that those could be very, very painful, very, I mean, really, really uncomfortable. And that's one of those simple things that you can do. So if you're having skin problems, try out some of those things. One, check out your diet. Two, check out your vitamins. Make sure you're taking vitamins, especially thinking about vitamin D and vitamin E. And if you're breaking out in rashes or breaking out, or your hands are getting chapped or anything like that, consider using just plain old Vaseline or petroleum. It doesn't have to be Vaseline. It can be any petroleum jelly, because it does amazing things. It really, if you're dry skin, it just really, really takes care of that. And it has almost no bad side effects. I mean, now, you know, I'm not recommending you doing this. And I'm going to repeat, I am not a doctor. I am not a dietitian. I am not a professional personal trainer. But these doctors in their video, they said it's so inert, you could actually eat it. Now, don't eat it. I'm not telling you to eat it. But that's how safe they said it is. They said it is just inert. There's almost nothing that reacts to it. So that's a little tip. If you're having skin problems, try those things out. And that's it for day 39. Tomorrow we hit day 40, and then we hit the 10-day countdown. So everybody have a great day, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.